Coaches and consultants, thank you so much for tuning in. We're going to be talking about how you can grow your profits and your impact with words. That's all coming up next with a very special guest. Don't go anywhere. All right, we are back. Thank you all for joining us here at the LVTV podcast, where we talk all things content, clients, and cash flow for the profit and impact focused coaches and consultants. And we have the $1,000,000 word stylist herself. Apryl, how you doing?
I'm awesome. Thank you so much for having me.
Like, I wanted to give you like a super long intro, but I know you got, time is of essence for both of us, but I want to just bless you and just say you do an amazing job on all fronts. Like, I've been watching for over a year, and your business, your agency, your social media presence is just like top notch. So I just want to salute you. And give you that. You live up to your name. So real quick, let's dive deep into this. I'm interested to, this is a personal question that I'm interested in. I always ask the guests this, but where were you, Apryl, when the light bulb came off and you said, I'm about to dive into these words? Was this always something you did as a kid, or was it like a transition from I was in corporate and I decided, you know what, let me just venture off into these words?
So I have always loved writing. I think I was 4 and like my aunts and uncles used to time me doing crossword puzzles. Like I was that into it. So like I've always had this love for writing. When I went to college, my mom, she watched way too many Cosby episodes. And she was like, oh, you about to be a lawyer. You about to be the next Claire Huxtable out here. And I was like, I really don't want to. But I went to college with that idea of what she wanted me to be. And in my sophomore year, I secretly enrolled and got accepted into journalism school. So I was in journalism. And then when I graduated, like right before I graduated, I took the LSAT. And she's like, yay, we about to have a lawyer. But I didn't have an LSAT score because I already knew what I wanted to be. So It was a little crushing to her. But when she can't complain now, okay?
Right.
But it did take her a little bit to get used to it. So I've always had a passion for writing. As far as starting the business, though, I will say that started when I had my son. I was laying there on maternity leave, and I was like, I really don't want to have to ask another adult when I can spend time with my child. And my husband was like, just quit, just leave. And I was like, well, we can't do that. Let's not go that far. So that's when I started the business and started putting things in motion to be able to start our own agency.
So what was that light bulb moment though? Were you like laying in bed and you were dreading going back? And in that environment where you're like, I really don't like putting in PT.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like that really was the light bulb moment. Like I loved my job because I was a marketing communications manager. So I was doing what I love to do. But it was like, I really did not want to, like the whole idea of requesting time off when my child was sick, requesting time off to go have family fun days with him was just crazy to me. Like, I don't want to come to you and say, hey, can I have a day off so I can spend time with my kid? That sounded nuts to me. And I know people do it every day, no judgment, but it sounded crazy to me. And that was the light bulb moment to me. Like, I want to be able to have the freedom to be a mom how I want to be a mom and still make money and still be successful. So he can see me bossing up, but I can still have that freedom to be a mother whenever I wanted to at the same time.
So how has that been for you now, right? You've crossed over and it seems like you can just take off and land in the same night. So how has that been for you now?
It has been absolutely awesome. Like, I don't really travel that much because of him, because he's very heavy into sports and he's very active at school. So I don't really travel that much. But as far as like being able to be at all his school events, I've never missed a game. Actually, I'll tell you this quick story. I had an interview and I was doing someone's coaching on a Saturday, which I hardly ever do, but he had a game. So I had car service waiting outside for me. They drove me to the game. I'm running across the basketball court because I refused to miss one of his games. So, but as far as that, like, it's been incredible just to be able to set my own hours and still be successful. Like, I'm running a 7-figure agency and I still don't miss a beat with him. So it's been awesome.
That's a blessing. That's a blessing. So let's dive into words and how words can actually help us grow our profits and our impact, right? So what are some of the things that you're finding, like present day right now at the time of this recording, that coaches and consultants are doing that's really counterproductive when they want to use words, whether that's an email, social media, on their website or landing pages? What mistakes are they making right now?
I would say one of the biggest mistakes is, and this is this is post me putting out, templates. I like to do templates so people can tweak them as they want to. But one of the biggest mistakes I see is not adding their originality and uniqueness into what they're writing. Like if you read one coach's email, a lot of them start to sound a lot of the same, because even though they're teaching on the same things, and even though their programs may be similar to someone else's, I'm not buying into that because I can get that program from 10 other people, right?
Right.
I'm buying into you, but a lot of coaches don't put enough of themselves into their marketing. They don't put enough of their agency into the marketing, so I can really feel the vibe and the essence of who you really are.
I love that. I love that. So incorporate your personality in your words. So is it okay to like kind of use slang? Is that what I'm hearing?
Are you asking me that for? Yes, it is.
For those who may not know,
I'm like the queen of your English teacher is about to fail you right now. If you follow anything I say, your English teacher is seriously going to fail you. But yes, slang is accepted. Slang is fine as long as it's your natural voice offline. Like, don't just think because I see Nike doing it, I see Walmart doing it, I see Sam's Club, and all these other big brands are now incorporating slang into their brands, and that's fine and dandy because it's cool on social media. But if you are trying to be, you want to be authentic with your audience, how you speak in your content and in your written content should be your voice naturally. Like the best example of this, and the best the best thing that I feel like when people see me in person, they're like, oh my God, I feel like I already know you because I read your content. Like that feels awesome to me because that means that I'm staying within my element.
So what would you say some of the things that coaches and consultants should be doing in their marketing when dealing with words?
So I think coaches and consultants should be adding more of their real personality into their content. As far as the actual words is concerned, making sure that it's not just about, oh, let me sell out this program, but more about solution based, like letting folks see what happens after they've enrolled into the program. So a lot of coaches will sell the program. We're doing 7 weeks at XYZ. You're going to get this, you're going to get this, you're going to get that, you're going to get that. But what about showing them the promised land, which is the place that reveals itself after they've gone through your program? What will they be able to do? See, some folks are a little weary and a little afraid of telling, like, you're not making a promise, but you need to expose folks to what happens after I've gone through your program. I have all this stuff, I have all this content, I have all these trainings, I have all these lessons. What am I going to be able to do with all this stuff after that? You got to take folks into the promised land. A lot of coaches and consultants I see, they will stop at the program. This is what you're getting. And you like, oh, we're getting 55,000 PDFs and this, that, and the third. What happens to me after I'm done with the program? What should I be able to do? Justify that so I can see the full journey versus just stopping at your program.
So one of the things, Apryl, I love that because I look at that as saying take it a step further. Like everybody says what they do and all of that good stuff. You're saying take it one step further. So my question to you now would be, what's the difference between serving in copy and selling in copy? Because I think we confuse the two. And what will be your response to that?
I agree that we confuse the two, but I also feel like audiences are so sophisticated now, and the things that they're looking for are so they're ever changing, right? So my idea is that you really in this landscape with so many different options and social media just being a distraction within it of itself, like I don't feel like you can adequately sell without serving. Like I feel like the service part of it needs to be in every selling communication. Like, yeah, I can come. I think I did a post about this the other day. Don't just show up with a link, show up with a solution. And so that kind of bridges the gap between selling and serving. Yeah, I can sell you all day on this thing, but I'm serving you when I'm presenting this thing that I'm offering you. as a solution that you've been looking for, the solution that you've been seeking, the solution is going to bring you the transformation that you want. So I don't see a way where you can adequately, effectively sell without serving in today's landscape.
I love that because I tell people when I coach them on like captions that your caption should be no, I'm sorry, your call to action in your caption should be the
Mm-hmm.
solution. It should just simply be the solution. Like you've told them the problem, you agitated it, and then your call to action should be this, like, here's the solution. Like I just told you
Right.
all about yourself, and boom, click this, and this is gonna actually relieve some of that pain and remove that aching head. So for you,
Absolutely.
what are some of the things that you're seeing now? Right, 2021, we're getting ready to go in 2022. You've been doing this for a length of time. What are some of the trends? What are something that's new, or from your perspective, things that people are just now catching on to?
That is a great question.
Or maybe it's or let me word it like this: you know that it works, but people are just now like, oh, okay, that works.
um, and this one has kind of been working for quite some time, but people don't really believe it until they actually use it. So every year around this time, I create this bundle of emails and social media posts, and I just added text message marketing to it as well, that my audience can copy and paste and tweak to send out to their audience for their holiday sales. And I typically always get pushback from folks who say, well, I only send 1 to 2 emails because my audience just, it's just too much. Like they
Mhm.
can't, they don't want all that stuff. But essentially, like you have to change your mindset. A lot of folks like, I don't want to send too many emails because they're going to unsubscribe. Okay, well that may be the case, but you are caught up in the number of emails you're sending. See, the way I teach my audience is that we're not talking about a certain number of emails. We're talking about a certain number of reminders because you're so
Mm.
compassionate. You're so passionate about making sure whoever is in your community gets the help they need,
Mhm.
that you're going to remind them to make sure that they don't miss out on whatever it is that you're offering. See, that's a switch of a mindset versus I don't want to annoy people. I don't want to bother people.
Mhm.
You're serving. And when you're serving people, you don't have a problem reminding them about the things that you have that's going to help and support them.
I love that. I
I
love
feel
that
like
so
the
much.
number of emails is something that I know have been working for a very long time, but people are just now getting, like, once they use the bundle or, they hear from me and they see that it's working, like, oh, you were right. I sent out 13 emails and nobody said nothing. Now, there's definitely a method behind the scenes of doing that, making sure that when people buy, you're taking them off the list, segmentation and all that good stuff. But overall, I feel like people feel like they're annoying folks. But when you switch your mindset, you realize you're reminding them versus annoying them.
Yo, I love that so much, April. Like that's like water, and I'm thirsty because of the mindset piece of it. It's not just the
Mm-hmm.
tactical, right? I'm not a fan of just, hey, just go do this. Like, what's the reason behind it? And I love how you share that. That's like I give you a virtual high five. Like that's what we do there. So I love that. What are some of the things that you have had an aha moment on in the past 30 days? Where you and your business, whether it's family, whether it's words, whether it's copy, whatever it is, what has been the biggest aha moment for April in the past 30 days?
I love that you're asking me this. I was just on the phone yesterday with one of my biz besties. Actually, she's just my best friend overall, but one of my girls, and she asked me pretty much the same question. And the craziest thing this year that I noticed in the past 30 days after, I have these monthly meetings with my CPA and we were looking at the numbers, and this year, I really made a commitment to pulling myself back from the agency, making sure
Mm,
I'm not in the day to day, letting my operations manager do what she needs to do,
mm-hmm,
and letting my team really step up and do what they need to do overall. So I was looking at the numbers, and it's funny because I pulled back most this year than in previous years, and
mm-hmm.
we doubled our revenue. Exactly, exactly. That's the aha moment. I was like, so I've been in the way the whole time.
The bottleneck, slowing up all that
Yes. So
abundance.
that was a real aha moment. And it just opened my eyes to see that as a CEO, as the founder, I need to focus my efforts on business development, making sure that my team has what they need, but not doing so much of the work. Like I actually retired this year from writing, and because
Mm.
I need to focus on big picture things. I need to focus on making sure that we're growing and we have the right people on the team and that the team members are supported, that they're trained properly and things of that nature. So
I love it. I love it, April. You doing it real big. I love when people say they doubled, like that double right there, double scoop
it's like,
me.
hey,
You
hey,
feel me?
hey.
I'm like, well, go ahead. I'm like, you go, girl. Give my Marty Mar all. But no, I appreciate it. And I got to keep you long. I know you have a book. I always recommend your book to people who are getting started in digital marketing
Thank
and
you.
definitely with copy. Like it opened my. It was a short read, but how you wrote it for somehow it just like connects with me. So it was one of the first of many that I started reading and researching on. So you're an author, you're a speaker, you're an entrepreneur, you're a mom, you're a wife, you're all of those things. How can people connect with Apryl? Should we go to the website? Should we follow you on social media? Because I think you have so much to offer so many people. What's the central place that we should send them to?
Thank you. So if you want to get these spine tingling sentences, you can go check out my website at stylemywords.co. That's stylemywords.co. If you want to get Apryl in her true essence and elements, so Instagram and Facebook are one of the only two places where I'm still like me.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's not my team. That's strictly me. Whenever I feel like posting on Instagram at BAAB Writing.
There it is. So make sure y'all follow. We'll have all that information down in the show notes. So Apryl, thank you so much for your
Thank
time and
you.
your information. I don't know I'm hitting the keyboard. What's going on? I'm so excited. Jesus help me today. But no, again, if you guys want to grow your profits, you want to grow and definitely increase your impact here in the world, and you're a coach and a consultant, make sure you follow her. Make sure you grab her book. Again, if you're just getting started, I highly recommend the book. And then also just you need to just follow her on IG because it can be hilarious some days. And it's just true comedy. So Apryl, thank you so much. Any last words you have?
Thank you. I appreciate you for having me on. I love what you're doing, making sure that you're educating your audience at all times. So thank you. We definitely need resources like you in the community. So I appreciate you for doing what you're doing and serving and pouring into folks.
Man, you can make a black man blush. All right, Apryl. Thank you. Thank you so much. With that being said, guys, continue to be social on social media, and we'll have a good one. See y'all next time. And my mouse just died. Oh, there it is. We're good.